Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I go over the interview process for many different popular stores you might also be applying to. This gives you the opportunity to walk into the interview confidently and feeling prepared. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up if you find this video to be helpful. Leave comments below of other interview questions or tips you guys have for each other. Today's topic is the Starbucks interview process. I'm going to do a detailed rundown of the perks of working at Starbucks, tips to tailor your resume, the application process, and everything to expect during the interview. But first, let's enjoy some memes. Being a Starbucks partner means becoming part of something bigger, inspiring positive change in the world while you grow in your career and in your community. It's an opportunity to be your personal best. If this sounds like something you would like to be a part of, then Starbucks is the workplace for you. It only makes sense we talk about some of the perks of working at Starbucks. Coffee and tea markout. You're eligible to receive a free pound of coffee or box of tea every week. In-store discount. You'll receive a 30% discount on purchases of beverages, merchandise, and food. Flexible scheduling. Partners have access to flexible scheduling in all stores. Another great feature about Starbucks is the Starbucks Rewards app. This can be used by employees and customers. As a member, you'll collect stars on almost everything you buy, and those stars add up to some really cool rewards in as few as 2 to 3 visits. Every time you pay using the app, you'll collect 2 stars for every dollar you spend. You can get stars even faster with bonus games and offers on the app, and there are double star days where you earn double the points. Now that all sounds lovely, but the question is the app worth it? The great thing about the app is you can order ahead and pay with your phone, similar to Tim Hortons. You also get free drink refills and free birthday treats. For the reward program itself, the first reward level is 25 points. This allows you to customize your drink. Make your drink
just right with an extra shot of espresso,
dairy substitution, or a dash of your fave syrup. The next reward level is 50 points. This is a go-to for when you're feeling snacky. You'll earn a brewed hot coffee, a bakery item, or a hot tea. Once you've reached 150 points, you'll have a really good morning with a breakfast sandwich, oatmeal, or your fave drink. The next reward level is 250 points. Take a well-earned break with lunch on Starbucks. You'll get a lunch sandwich, a protein box, or a salad. And last but not least, 400 points, which gets you a signature cup, a bag of coffee, or coffee accessories. Hopefully these are some incentives that will encourage you to apply to Starbucks. Now for tailoring your resume. 4 basic tips. Focus your objective or professional summary on the key skills you bring to the new role. Include relevant experience from the last 10 years, starting with most recent. Showcase your professional accomplishments, highlight how you've added value in your previous roles. Review the job posting thoroughly, and explain how your experience reflects the themes and requirements for this job. Application process FAQs. How do I search and apply for a position? The best way to search jobs and apply is on the careers website. Once you've created a profile, you'll be able to quickly apply for additional openings and set up job alerts. Follow the prompts, for example, choose country if you want to work in corporate or retail position, etc. Can I apply for more than one position at a time? Yes, you can apply for multiple openings. Are there tips on info to include in my Starbucks application? Ensure your resume and work history is up to date and provide as much relevant info within your application. And make sure to double check that your contact details are current. This is referring to your references, which are professional people that the hiring manager can contact to ensure the info on your resume is valid and essentially that you're a good employee. It's good to have 1 to 3 references available. I personally use written references that I attach to my resume. I find this to be easier, and that way if you have a few written references, you can select which one speaks to your skills for that specific job the best. Next question. How will I know if my application has been received? This is a common question that companies don't really answer. But for Starbucks specifically, once you have submitted your application, you will receive an email confirmation. Preparing for the interview. You're going to want to research the company culture by understanding Starbucks' mission and values and reviewing Starbucks stories. These tend to be points that most people overlook. Familiarize yourself with behavioral-based interviewing. These are situation questions which are common for interviews nowadays. Have specific examples in mind for these questions. Engage with Starbucks on their social media channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, and don't forget to download their app. It's very common for employers to search you up on social media. Last but not least, visit a Starbucks store to observe the operation and familiarize yourself with their products. As well as you're going to want to go to the Starbucks location you applied to and introduce yourself to the manager. You can say something along the lines of, I applied for this position online, I wanted to introduce myself and give you a hard copy of my resume. Often the first step after you apply and hopefully take initiative by introducing yourself to the manager is followed up by a phone interview. Questions like availability and previous job experience will be the main topic. These phone calls are often brief and are mainly used to schedule an in-person interview. A good tip is to let the call go to voicemail if you need time to prepare, but don't wait more than 2 to 3 hours to return the call. Now it's time for the in-person interview.
A major tip. Starbucks is a unique
interview in the sense that the interview starts as soon as you walk in their door. Once you introduce yourself to the barista at the counter and explain that you're there for an interview, they will ask you if they can get you a drink on the house to see if you know the proper way to order. This will earn you major points if you do it correctly. So I'm going to insert the list of how to order. After the initial test, the manager will pull you aside and ask you a series of questions. I'm going to go over the top 7 questions asked in Starbucks interviews specifically. Why do you want to work for Starbucks? Take this opportunity to show off the research you've done on the company. Use the info to explain why you'd be an asset to Starbucks. You can discuss how Starbucks aligns with your own personal values and goals, and mention that Starbucks calls their employees partners, and that's something that you'd really like to be a part of. Question 2. What's your favorite Starbucks menu item? The interviewer wants to find out if you're familiar with their products. You can say a different drink than the one you ordered during their test. This shows variety. If you're a regular customer, you can say you know the menu front and back, but your favorite drink of all time is ... Question 3. What do you know about coffee? It'll be helpful to have a solid foundation of Starbucks brewed coffees. They have cold brewed, clover brewed, iced coffee, and roast. Question 4. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Sometimes this question can be daunting if it catches you off guard. The interviewer is figuring out 2 things here: your professional goals and if you have any plans to grow within their company. You can say something along the lines of, in the next 5 years, I aim to be a shift manager. I would also like to further my education while working. This shows you have other ambitions outside of the company. Question 5. What does customer service mean to you? Starbucks is a really busy store and they're looking for staff that can work well under pressure. You want to show your passion for customer service and that you can work in a fast-paced environment. You can mention customer service means going above and beyond to make sure customers leave satisfied and with an intention to return to Starbucks. This includes making orders correctly and remembering the customers' names. Question 6. Give an example of a positive experience with a customer and a negative experience with a customer. For the negative experience, make sure the outcome still shows that you can de-escalate or problem solve. This will be key for this question. Last question, number 7. This job is routine work. How will you specifically stay motivated? Things to mention for this question. There's new customers to engage with. There's returning customers you can get to know. It's a fast-paced environment which you thrive in. Problems appear time to time which would allow for problem solving, and you have a positive attitude and you find the work to be rewarding. Remember to add your personal touch while answering these questions. You want to stand out from the other interviewees. Don't forget to smile
and be friendly. Remember, this is Starbucks and they're looking for bubbly staff.
Dress professional for the interview. You could always practice a mock interview with a family member or friend if you're feeling a bit nervous. Ask former supervisors or managers for written references that speak to your skills. If you don't have previous job experience, a good tip is to volunteer in customer service type positions, or if you're in high school, complete a co-op. Lastly, ask a question at the end of the interview to show interest in the company. Check out my channel for other popular stories you may also be applying to. Subscribe and give a thumbs up if you found this video to be helpful. Leave comments below of other interview questions or tips you guys have for each other, or you can mention other stories that you would appreciate an interview process video for. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and pay with your phone. Be friendly. Remember, this is a Starbucks and okay, we're just doing this one over.